Good morning, all of you. So please be a little louder, because let the day start with louder voice, louder smile. Dignitaries on the dais, Sri Shunil Kumar, Joint Secretary, MOPNG, Sri Gurmeet Singh, Director General, FIPI, Sri Prabh Das, CEO and MD of HMEL, Madam Vartika Sukla, CMD, EIL, and the eminent speakers, industrialists, delegates, and all the guests here sitting before me of the dais. Once again, good morning to all of you. Thank you for the invitations. In fact, it is a good opportunity to interact with distinguished leadership and colleagues from oil and gas sector. The dynamic energy landscape is throwing new ideas and focus areas in the breakneck speed. These outcomes are being prompted by what the world is going through in terms of ecology, that is harmony between nature and humans. Socially, that is how the people are being impacted by the imbalance created due to irresponsible use of natural resources, and economically too, that is how our behavior is affecting the living standards and quality of lives. All these outcomes lead us to strengthen the sustainability agenda. I compliment the organizers for putting together this platform on such an important agenda to understand and explore the benchmark practices. Coming from downstream sector, of course, our incisive attention is on, first, the keeping our core business robust. Second, maximizing energy efficiency in our business operations continuously. Third, at the same time to remain agile to adapt to changing market dynamics. The fourth, to find innovative solutions in our business processes with a revolutionary technologies and bouquet of products and services to meet the sustainable goals. Undoubtedly, the past few years has taught us personally and professionally the value of being flexible and innovative. How to make us flexible? We should look for the business predictions for the next 10 years. Being in readiness for that future with adequate preparations. Simply said, one of us can afford to be caught unaware. And I will quote from Ernest Hemingway, an American writer who said, "We are all apprentices in a craft where no one ever becomes a master. So we must learn and strive on." I'm reiterating what all of us know, that with the Paris Agreement 2015, the goal is to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees centigrade, preferably 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels. The obvious outcome is that there is a need to be a revolutionary transformation in the energy mix, including bringing clean energy sources. As per International Energy Agency's global outlook, the oil demand is expected to exceed 2019 levels by 2023 before reaching its maximum level of 104 billion barrel per day by 2030. Globally, primary fuels like gasoline, diesel, jet fuel are showing flat to slow growth of less than 1%. The primary fuels are expected to be partially substituted with increased availability of methanol, ethanol, and natural gas. The gradual electrifications of the transportation fleet is also going to have a big impact onto this business. Thus, there shall be a paradigm shift in the energy landscape, not only globally, but also in our country. India cannot remain untouched by this transformation happening in the global oil and gas sector. India, being one of the fastest growing economies, requires sustained energy sources to support growth in the country's economy. The energy map of the India is very, very different than other countries. We know that Around 18% of world's populations we have, but we use only 6% of the world primary energy. The per capita of energy consumptions is only around 0.6 tons of oil equivalent, which is 1/3 of global average. India is the largest oil importer, third largest oil importer in the world, with the current refining capacity of 250 million metric tons a year. This scenario is drastically different than other countries, particularly Europe and US. So IEA has estimated that crude oil demand for India shall reach about 325 million metric ton by 2030 and may reach to 379 million metric ton by 2040. And it is estimated that with an addition of over 170 million passenger cars and 25 million of trucks, fuel demand is expected to be double by 2040. In such a scenario, the oil industry in India has to build capacity to meet the projected growth in demand. Driven by this requirement to ensure future readiness, Indian Oil, that means my company, has already embarked on the capacity expansion to process approximately 107 million metric ton of crude by another 5 to 6 years' time. While we are making our core refining business robust, we are also equally focusing on building the flexibility with around 10% of swing capacity in product slates. We are bringing innovation in our business processes by replacing high sulfur furnace oil with natural gas in all our refineries. We'll also increase our natural gas consumptions in the processes by about 26 MMSCMD by 2025. It's my pleasure also to declare or share that our Mathura refinery will soon be using the treated municipal sewage water for its entire business processes, and we will be actually not using any kind of fresh water in the future. Another capacity that we are adding to our refining configuration is increasing petrochemical intensity index by integrating the petrochemical plants with our refinery business, as already mentioned by Mr. Das and by Mr. Singh. This is the area where refinery business can have adequate margin. This is based on the projected growth also by 8% CAGR in the polymer consumptions and the need to bring down the dependence on the imports. India's per capita petrochemical consumptions is only 12 kg. This is 1/3 of the global average and 1/10 of US. With business dynamics, India's current petrochemical intensity index is about 4.5%, and this is going to be increased by about 9% by 2030. Now we have various plans in our hand. The capacity expansion for the naphtha cracker plant, PX-PTA complex, our ALAB plants are on the process, and there would be new plants like polybutadiene rubber. There would be methyl-ethyl glycol plant. We will be having many polypropylene units, oxo-alcohol plants, and various other petrochemical units in all our 10 refineries. For coming to the sustainability part, where the energy transitions is moving from conventional fuel oil to the renewable energy. Government target is net zero by 2070. The transformation of energy mix is definitely very crucial in the business of refinery sector. The ethanol blended MS, green hydrogen, CBG, natural gas, wind and solar energy, carbon capture, these are all the key enablers into these transitions. Indian Oil is rolling out 2G and 3G plants in Panipat refinery. The 2G plant is coming from using the waste material of the agricultural area, and this plant will be first kind of its nature in the country. We are also going for 3G, which will be using off gases from the refinery systems. This plant is also going to be of its own new kinds in the country. We are also fervently committed to the government's national hydrogen mission in making India a green hydrogen hub. Our focused approach is increasing green hydrogen footprints. Presently, the hydrogen demand is approximately 6 million metric ton and expected to reach by 12 million metric ton by 2030 in our country. In line with National Hydrogen Mission, Indian Oil has formed a JVs with L&T and Renew Power. Indian Oil also planning to set up a green hydrogen plant of 5 KTA in Mathura Refinery and 2 KTA plant at Panipat Refinery. And nation's first hydrogen dispensing unit is coming very soon at Gujarat Refinery. Alongside these green fuels, carbon capture and utilization of storage, the decarbonization is on the way, but as Mr. Das said, that this cannot happen very fast because everything costs money. But the gradual transitions from the conventional fuel to the new transition energy mix, that is renewable carbon capture, is on the process in the gradual way in my corporation too as well. We are looking for carbon capture and utilization process through enhanced oil recovery method at our Gujarat Refinery and also producing carbon dioxide food grade using the off gas coming out from MEG plant of Panipat and Paradip Refinery. On an overall corporate basis, we are also producing and using solar and wind energy to the tune of 230 megawatt through different business verticals. We are also giving big strides on the compressed biogas, which is on the process of taking big leap in the country. Indian Oil has dedicated this 2022 to crafting green future. We at Indian Oil are committed towards fueling nations, energy demand, and to take positive strides for the country. With these words, I would like to extend my best wishes to the organizers and the delegates. I'm sure that this august audience will deliberate on benchmark practices that our industry can adopt to bolster the India's oil and gas outlook and support India's sustainable growth and development. Thank you very much.